Sorry folks, Lewis Hamilton spoiled my fun. You see, this episode was originally going to be more of a fun one as I compared him to LeBron James, another massive sporting superstar in their career parallels, but I'm going to save that for later in the year, as I've noticed more and more that as time has drawn closer to the start of the 2016 season, Lewis Hamilton has become the polarising figure in Formula 1, and it comes with problems. Now, I've often said before, F1 needs a box office crossover star to raise the sport's profile. Someone like a Usain Bolt, a Roger Federer, a Valentino Rossi that can attract people into the sport who wouldn't normally watch. Lewis is the nearest thing we have to that. The unfortunate downside to this is that the amount of flack he so often gets from both sides of the F1 audience. This is how it is with Lewis now. He's become the Marmite figure, the most polarising guy the sport may have ever seen in today's age of social media, instant gratification, and where elements of people's private lives are very often not. When you get to this level of fame, you just don't get a fair rap anymore. It's just how the game is. This week has been the case in point in regards to Lewis's questionable behaviour. From taking selfies on motorbikes, a criminal offence in New Zealand, to getting angry at casino customer service, then bitching about it on Twitter, to bitching even more about flying economy class. It's the kind of story that is bound to divide people in today's society. On one side, the people who will dismiss this as no big deal, while the other side will condemn him for acting a fool with the usual celebrity ego attached to it. It's a microcosm of the changes Lewis has made in his career. Hard to believe that Lewis was once this humble kid from Stevenage that debuted back in 2007. But looking back more cynically, you could make the case he was often puppeted by McLaren and their heavy PR-centric focus, forced to behave and act in a certain way. You really want that guy back? Mercedes clearly gave Lewis the freedom to cut loose and actually be himself, and naturally, not everybody is going to like the end result. To the people who feel the need to defend Lewis over everything he does, the fact you have to do that says a lot about the kind of person he is. He's a star. Everything he does will get spoken about. I know prominent F1 accounts on social media that have labelled him a megalomaniac just for getting his own Snapchat filter to promote. It's not his fault the man is more marketable than just about anything else in Formula 1 these days. But it's getting harder to deny the man has douchebag tendencies. I don't blame him. He's one of the sport's biggest spoilt brats. I mean, think about it. He was spotted by Ron Dennis at 10, appeared on Blue Peter as a teenager, had a dad who worked 3 jobs to keep him karting, had millions invested in him to go through the junior formulas before he even got into F1. And then he got there at 22, walked into the best car, and nearly won a world title as a rookie. He's never had a car worse than top 3, never had a winless season. He signed a £120 million contract last year and hangs out with Kanye on the side. This is not a man who's going to be humble anymore. He's lived in a supported bubble for around 20 years of his life, and is now living in his ways we can only dream of. He's not one of us anymore. He's naive of his own behaviour. Sure, that's a valid criticism, but sometimes that just can't be helped. Is all the hate that HamCapers lean on justified? Nope. Does that give him a pass from acting like an arse? Nope. I get bored of the notion that sports people have to be role models. Lewis Hamilton doesn't owe us anything. He's not a saint by any stretch. In fact, I'd argue he's only become more of an insufferable douchebag over the years. And you know what? That's okay. You can like a sports figure even if they aren't necessarily a nice person. Sports often need villains to succeed. The NBA's most exciting era in decades was when LeBron was made the villain in Miami with the Big Three. Usain Bolt had Justin Gatlin. For every person who loves Ronnie O'Sullivan, there's another who can't stand him. So please, love him or hate him, don't defend Lewis Hamilton. He doesn't give a shit what we think of him anymore anyway. His perceived squeaky clean days are dead and buried. Somehow, I think he'll be just fine.